The key word is enough.
I will.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Monday, July the 25th meeting of the Kaufman County Commissioners Court. This is a regular meeting of the court, and we'll begin with our regular items that we start with an invocation that I've asked Commissioner Shane to give. We'll have a pledge of allegiance to both of our flags, and then if anyone here wishes to address the court from an item that is on the agenda, go ahead. There's a form I believe on the table there that you can fill out. It would need to be one of the items that is listed on the agenda if you wish to speak to the court. So, if you will join with me now in standing, we will begin.
We all pray with you. Most gracious Heavenly Father, we come today and just always first thank you for your many blessings. We just thank you so much that you blessed our country. We just ask you today to bless our court as we do the business of our county. We just ask you to bless our first responders and our people that are in harm's way, and that you send them home safely each day. We again just thank you so much for your blessings that might send us some rain to heal this dry earth right now and help us along with those. These things we ask in your Son's name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
There's no one side of
Thanks, sir. All right, moving into routine correspondence. I don't have anything to distribute this morning. We have several items on the consent agenda. First is the acceptance of the regular meeting minutes for May 23rd, June 13th, June 27th, July the 11th, and the special meeting of May 20th, June 17th, and June 18th, all in the 2016 year. Item B is to discuss and consider approving a project agreement with the City of Oak Ridge for road repair. Item C is to discuss and approve interlocal agreement for the City of Scurry for road maintenance. Item D is to discuss and consider approving road repair for the City of Scurry for County Road 4083 in the amount of $4,780. Item E is to consider appointing Bobby Aga, Precinct 1, to the Fern-Norville Children's Shelter Board. Item F is to consider appointing Ray Raymond from Precinct 1 to the Fern-Norville Children's Shelter Board. And item G is to discuss and consider accepting the audited financial report for Emergency Service District Number 6. Gentlemen, what is your pleasure on any of those items?
We get that local project agreement signed by the city for item B. If not, we have a special meeting coming up that we can just push it to. The project agreement, yeah. Well, I mean, it's the same thing.
No.
Judge Wood,
Yes, ma'am.
do you have a copy of the audited financial statements for the emergency service district?
Yes.
May I have a copy of that, because I have not ever reviewed that?
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
If you'll ask before the meeting, we'll always be sure to try to get that to you. I don't know why you didn't get it, but we certainly you should have it. So what is the question on item, is it on the Oak Ridge?
Yeah, we just need the city's signature prior to court voting on it under the local
I don't have it in my package, but we don't have it on here.
Okay, yeah, I didn't have it here, but if we want to push it to the next consent agenda, or maybe to like a special meeting, push it to that, because I don't know what this timeline is for the project.
I can table that.
Okay.
Okay, so you'd like to table
Yeah, I
item
don't have it,
E?
sorry.
Yes, if it wasn't provided, we'll table that.
Okay. All right, any other, questions about anything on the consent agenda? Not, I'll entertain a motion to approve as printed. Have a motion from Commissioner Phillips, do we have a second? Second from Commissioner Allen, all in favor say aye. Those opposed. Item number 3 is for Mr. Oldfield, our treasurer, to present the monthly treasurer report. Do you have a copy of that?
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Commissioner. It should be in your packet. And the Treasurer's report for the month of June 1st through June 30th of 2016. We began the month with the general fund cash balance of $12,284,734.25, receipts of $1,129,1460, disbursements of $3,359,1913 for an ending general fund balance of $10,054,729.72. This is for the end of June, so we're looking at July, August, and September to finish the year, and we have the $10 million in the general fund areas. And reminding you that payroll runs about $1 million every 2 weeks, so we've got some funds. You can see that on our interest earnings, all of these funds are in American National Bank under our terms of our depository contract. It pays us 35 basis points on the collected balance. And you can see the interest earned allocation among the accounts in the lower left-hand corner, 56, 55, 40 for the general fund, 3,040, 19 on the road bond fund, 713 on the general fund money market investment, and all of the funds were distributed 727.05. So $9,429.77. And again, included in those interest income, we also have substantial fees by American National Bank that's also waived under the terms of the depository contract. On the third page, the other proceedings, we processed 415 cash receipts, 495 AP checks written, 706 juror paid checks issued, 1,151 payroll direct deposit advices, 223 payroll hard copies. And of the 1,151 payroll checks, 223 were hard copy checks, 928 were direct deposits. So we've got roughly 85% of our county payroll recipients are with the program to receive direct deposits. And one thing that kind of has created energy to cash pagers. There was a transfer of data in the jury check processing per week. The county did issue roughly 400 duplicate $10 juror checks. The auditor and I have received some of those back. Not inclined to make a big issue with taxpayers and jurors that receive duplicate checks, but we are working to recover as much of the duplicate pay money as possible. And that's created a great deal of energy among all of us to get to a cash pay on jurors. The auditor and I have collaborated to prepare a letter to the affected elected officials, and we'll circulate that letter this week and begin that formal planning process.
Where are we on the, having cash to pay the jurors rather than issuing a check? Isn't that something that's?
Again, the auditor and I have collaborated to prepare an introductory letter to the affected elected officials, and we'll circulate that letter as we finish the week and begin the planning of that judge. There's some logistics issues and structural issues to make sure that the judges and the district clerk and the county clerk are all on the same page with the auditor. I would anticipate that we should be ready to go with that. If you set a rational date, it would be starting the new fiscal year, for instance. And I think that would be it would be a good long-term continuing cost savings for the county. But sometimes a little bit of pain is necessary to create a little bit of gain.
Those files are created in the Odyssey software, and the county clerk, the district clerk sends those files to us to upload into STW, and it was an Odyssey issue, and I still haven't got an answer of how that happened.
But it's being worked on.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay.
So, thank you for your attention.
Anybody have any questions of Mr. Oldfield on the monthly treasury report? Not, I'll entertain a motion to accept. Mr. Shane makes a motion, Commissioner Rizal seconds the motion. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed. The next item on the agenda is also from Mr. Oldfield to consider or approve a resolution amending the authorized representative to textbook.
And I am the person that can initiate transactions with Textpool, but the chief deputy, the assistant treasurer, has historically had access to information. So this resolution is to substitute Debbie Graham for Carol Law.
Okay. Anybody have any questions about that? Not, I'll entertain a motion to accept and approve as recommended by the treasurer. Motion by Commissioner Allen. Second by Commissioner Rizal. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Thank you very much.
And Judge, may I make one more inquiry?
Sure.
This was the meeting for us to have the quarterly treasurer's report, and that is in your packet.
But on the agenda. Okay.
I don't know if we could proceed on since.
Well, since it's not on the agenda, we're going to have a special meeting before our next regular meeting, and we'll have it on there for sure.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I promised Mr. Sly, the Kaufman city manager, so that he could get back to work. He has a city council meeting tonight, so I'd like to take an item out of order, and it's item number 16. Rebecca Lundberg, our attorney, has been working with the city on this lease, and item number 16 reads to discuss and consider entering into a lease agreement with the city of Kaufman so that the city may lease a portion of the county's South Campus building and land space for the duration of 14 months with the option of month-to-month leasing thereafter. Rebecca, do you have anything you'd like to add to that?
I don't, other than, did you guys receive the new copy of the lease? That way you could take a look at it, and if not, I've got it here, but I didn't make copies.
I suppose we forwarded it to everybody.
Okay.
You read it till Friday at 3:45.
Yeah, I had Oh, here it is. We need to get it.
Rebecca, it does include the location where it's
This is my packet.
This is the latest and greatest. We always got the late Friday.
Okay, so in the first paragraph, we kind of separated out the two pieces of property into exhibits on the back and incorporated those. Randy helped us out with the drawing in the South Campus, but Exhibit B is the South Campus property and then the square footage inside the building that they would be leasing. And then it highlights in blue a shared space. And then Exhibit A is where the portable building will be placed on the property. And I think the first page of that probably helps the most. It's got the pop out, and then it's the black square that indicates the portable building. So it's that land space plus the covered property inside the building. And then on the same page, page 1, it indicates the term, which would be 14 months. And then after that term, the lease would be up, it would be extended if the city needs that on a month-to-month basis at the same rate. And then the rest of the terms would follow that month-to-month basis, but then at that point, you only have a 30 days notice, you know, if they needed to go ahead and close out the lease. The rental amount is $15.50 per month, and then it would start billing at the quarterly, but it's gonna be off from our quarter system. Their quarter would start on September 1st for this lease, so it would be due the effective date of the lease. And then something else to note is that we went ahead and put in there the removal of the portable building maybe as early as August 1st, just because we've got a transition period that we're trying to work with the city on to get it there. Of course, it wouldn't, everything wouldn't go into effect until September 1st. We talked with the city a lot about the separation of them doing all the permitting for the portable, paying electricity, maintenance, and the city's good with that, and then we'll maintain the maintenance and the utilities within the South Campus building. There are some construction things, very minor. We're going to open up part of a room in order for them to have a window so that they can do cash receivables right there for different permits and city operations. Page 2 just has the standard condition of property, kind of when you leave, it has to be left as it was. I think the only thing I'm missing is what the city wants to designate, or who the city wants to designate as their contact. You,
There's people coming in there, be able to know.
it should do that on page 5, I
thought
think.
me and,
There is an
Two
insurance
million.
requirement, and then you call it on page 3, and then it pulls over to page 4. The city should have a general umbrella insurance policy that covers the property that they're in or leasing. Mike's shaking his head yes.
Do they have the security issues?
So-
Always coming in and out of our security.
We talked about that in depth, and what we kind of worked out is a lot of their personnel will be parking in that back area, and of course, that's code, card entry, and George will work with the employees to get them that type of secure access. And then we're gonna maintain the push button system at the front of Public Works, and then that's also carded access there. So the only other thing that we're working through is just to close off the window, but the city is working pretty closely with bringing in the rest of that building to make sure that that's locked up at night, so no one,
I guess
No
our
security
question
issues.
would be, do they have a way to lock up their stuff so that our employees don't mess, with the security of their stuff?
I'm sure that they have a pretty good
I
flash
guess,
system going.
you know what I'm saying, I hate
Yes.
to, I don't know.
We're very comfortable with the security arrangements,
Okay.
both, and as is ranked. We've discussed security both from the city's perspective and the county's perspective. We recognize that this is a temporary solution, and we're gonna, we're comfortable enough that we can move forward with this one.
Make sure you're happy with that.
The only thing that's not written in this agreement that we all collectively agree to is there'll be some temporary signage out on the highway, both on the highway and on the building, notifying the city office.
when somebody owes you money, they have a hard time paying you anyway.
We're tracking.
Other questions?
Only to the extent that, you know, the city council will be considering the same lease this evening. And on behalf of the mayor and the city council, we certainly appreciate your support, recognizing the need that we have for administrative office space. Certainly appreciate us working together along those lines and getting ourselves to a point where we can continue to move forward. And hopefully, 15 months from now, cut the ribbon on a beautiful facility. Thank you. Thank you.
Gentlemen, what's your pleasure? Have a motion from Commissioner Allen to approve the lease with the city of Kaufman at the South Campus. Have a second. Commissioner Rosales seconds the motion. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed. Thank you, sir. Now you can have a good meeting tonight.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's go back to the front page now, and we'll continue where we left off with Mrs. Ratcliffe, who will present the tax assessor's monthly report for July 2016. Looks like you have another good month.
Yes, sir. This is actually the report for June 2016 now.
I'm sorry.
Does everybody have their paperwork? Okay. This month we collected between the M&O and INS over $230,911,000 for M&O and INS. 1,000. I'm going for it. That's right.
Might have to go through the fund, you know.
We also collected $42,678,000 in delinquent taxes. So we had no rollbacks this month of June, so our total collections year-to-date are $30,930,956. For our collection rate for the county for 97.51%. For road and bridge, we collected $39,439 this month and an additional $5,700 in delinquent taxes for a collection rate of 97.57% overall, with over $5 million collected.
Any questions for the tax assessor collector? Anybody? I will have a motion to accept from Commissioner Rosales. Do I have a second? Commissioner Phillips seconds the motion. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Thank you very much. Next item will be for Ms. McLeod to present the auditor's monthly report for June 2016. I believe that was,
Good morning.
we had that on our table, plus I think you sent it out
Yes,
earlier.
since that came in our email and kind of got mixed up, thought that it was put in your package, but so I apologize. But on your general fund, you're sitting at about 93.47% collected in the revenues that we budgeted, and you're at 70.65% at your expenditures, which is really, really good. So, of course, we still have, July, August, and September to go through, but we're pretty well watching everything. Pretty good. Your main road and bridge fund is at 93.4% in collections, and your transfers out of that main is at 96.25%, and all of y'all have looked like you're maintaining your budget pretty fairly like you're supposed to. And this report is for 9 months, so you should be at 75%. So it appears that you're doing pretty good.
Anybody have any questions for the auditor for the report for June 2016? Does look good. There's like we're right on target. Maybe a little better, in fact.
Yeah.
Do I have a motion to accept the report as presented by the auditor? Commissioner Phillips makes that motion. Do we have a second? Commissioner Allen seconds. All in favor say aye. Those opposed. Next item is also from Ms. McLeod to present or accept the auditor's quarterly report for quarter ending June 30, 2016.
All right, if, this report's a little bit different because it kind of falls into the same format that your outside auditor's report does, so you can have something to compare. And we tried to put it together for a quarter so you can compare 2016 to 2015, just to see where we're standing. And everything looks pretty well in order. We've added a little bit to our fund balance. The graph shows you that where we're sitting on our revenue comparisons.
I was 15 June, so much more 15 than 16. That's a big difference.
Which page are you?
First page.
Very first
I mean,
page.
second, yeah, second. That graph, which is on the good one, the comparison chart. So you got 15, you got 1,000,004, and we're on 86 in June.
Right, there was like 242,000 difference in that, for that, the month of June.
Well, 1,000,004, and let's say that's 600,000.
This one here, Karen.
For me, it's just big.
We're showing June here, and up here.
I'm just kinda curious what we collected so big in June last year that jumped us up so much.
Part of that had to do with property tax.
Last year.
Yes, sir, some of them did. In fact, I think we were a little bit late in sending the bills out last time.
Well, I was curious.
Yeah.
That's a
And
big
then,
deal.
The intergovernmental transfers coming from the different entities that we got was like $500,000 different. Part of that had to do with the SRO foreign with the independent school district. We kept sending the bill to the chief financial officer, and we found out about 6 months later he was no longer there when we called to find out why we weren't getting our money. So we received it all at one time.
You got it all in June. Okay.
Yes, sir.
That's what I was just curious. Just such a big difference.
Karen, let me ask you this. I know on the Brownlow trial, we have about $470,000 in expert witness fees and other costs we're trying to get back from the state.
Yes, sir.
Is that included in these numbers somewhere?
That is included in a separate fund that is joined en route with certain columns in here. When we have to borrow to cover those checks in that fund, we have to borrow from the general fund. Then when we get the reimbursement, we pay the general fund back.
So if we're successful in the state reimbursing us for all or certainly a portion of those funds, that would be credited back to the general fund?
Yes, sir. What we borrowed would go back. If it covers all of it, if not, then the general fund.
And I know some of them were paid last year, I think. And
Yes,
some
sir.
of them were paid, the bulk of them, I believe, have been paid this year.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that's the money we'll be trying to get from the state at the end of August.
Yes. And I heard we're supposed to get some of those, the jury, that we paid the jury, because some of those people were paid like $850 for
Yeah.
their services. So each one, we should get some reimbursement back for it.
Other questions for Ms. McLeod on the quarterly report?
Karen, does this show our contractual obligation to ATS project award?
What do you mean by contractual obligations, Mr. Vidal?
I'm talking about the monthly charge for the cameras, for the charges.
It would be, the revenue that we receive from them would be included in the, other fees and other revenues, and then the expenditure would come out of the, general government,
What
whereas
page is
the,
that?
on your first page.
Big up, big package.
This one is color cod, is gonna be included in general government, because that's the big fund that we pay everything out of.
So the contractual obligation is to that fund right there.
Yes, sir. We have to record it that way to, be able to balance to their reports, and, that's just one of the requirements, that we have to recognize that revenue and what they, deducted on their 40%. So we,
No, I'm not talking about the revenue or their portion. I'm talking about the contractual obligation that we have, the continuing contract.
we pay them monthly for what they say we owe, once we balance and audit the report.
We pay them $7,500 per county per month.
No, we paid up front before we started recognizing revenues, but I don't know if any charges for $7,500 a month, so I haven't received a bill like that.
I'm not talking about a bill, I'm talking about a debt, contractual debt. That's not in here.
No, sir.
Other questions? So did we do a motion or anything? Who made it? Okay, do we have a second? All right, other questions from anybody before we vote on this item? All in favor say aye. Those opposed?
I'm going to abstain.
Abstain, show Commissioner. Commissioner Rosales and Commissioner Shane abstaining. On the quarterly report. All right, Desiree, are you here this morning? We've got your items on, so that's for indigent health care, to discuss and consider approval of a memorandum of understanding with Community Health Service Agency Incorporated.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners, how are y'all this morning?
Good.
Today I have Michael Glass, he's going to speak to y'all if you have any questions, but what this is, he came and did a presentation for us back in January 2016, telling us a little bit about the Community Health Service, which is located on Houston Street. After he spoke with y'all, he came in there and talked to me. He did ask me if we would be interested in doing a contract with him. I did explain to him that we didn't really have very many clients going over there, so I wasn't interested in doing a contract. And then he asked me if we had any issues or problems or complaints, and so we discussed those things. He would like to communicate better with our program, their clinic, and have a communication. So he did up an agreement for us. I gave the agreement to Rebecca. Rebecca went through there and she made some changes. We sent it back to him. We did this 2 or 3 times, but we finally got it where we're all in agreement to it. And it's basically just communicating with the clinic, them getting things to us on time and us getting their billing back on time to them as far as all that. But Michael, would you like to tell a little bit about it?
I think you showed up at the last meeting, Desiree wasn't here, so.
Absolutely. I just wanted to make sure that the item had been tabled, just to make sure. But my name is Michael Glass, and I want to say good morning to Judge and the Commissioners. And I work for Community Health Service Agency, and Kaufman Community Health Center is one of our centers. We presented back in January about our center. I don't know if y'all may remember that. Michelle Carter, our CEO, presented. And we want to get, we're working with each of the county governments in each of our locations. We feel it's beneficial and it's essential that we work with each of them in helping all the citizens in each of our counties and each of our cities. So this is the beginning step, and then more work will be done through it as well. I know each of y'all probably had this memorandum of understanding in your agenda items. I updated the date that it was entered into, which is today, July 25th, and then would begin August 1st. Those are the 2 changes that I just went ahead and entered and made, so it didn't have to be done later. So, if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer any you may have.
Desiree, I mean, this is just the
No,
source of,
yeah, it's it's just like a communication thing. He's gonna set it up where I just have, one person to contact, you know, and get what I need from them. And then the billing questions, if they have anything for me, I'm just gonna have one-on-one with somebody instead of trying to go through the lines to try to find someone. The basic, getting the, claims processed and, you know, their, payment to them, it's basic, that's 45 days, that's normal. But it's just more of a communication understanding.
We centralized our call center, and when we centralize that call center, what happens is all phone calls go into this centralized call center. We tried to make it more, we tried to just make it easier for patients, so whenever they call, they have one person they can talk to, but it tends to make it more difficult for individuals who are trying to get a hold of a specific person, because then you have to call there, get it forwarded, and then you may get a message machine. So we're working through those types of things, but for this instance, we're going to have these direct numbers set up so that Desiree can get a hold of individuals if she needs to. We're also going to have a meeting. Part of this too is to make sure that patients don't go over to Kaufman Community Health Center, and then we refer them over to the Indigent Care Program, and then there's a 14-day wait period. But during that time, they can be seen at Kaufman Community Health Center based on our policies and procedures as a self-pay patient. But putting all those together for patients, so as they're getting qualified for indigent care, we're working together through the whole process, so there's less confusion for the patients in this county. That's our end goal with this as well.
Just as a matter of curiosity, how many people do you serve at the health clinic here?
Actually, that's a great question. Around 4,000 patients a year.
Are most of them Kaufman County residents?
I believe so, yes. Yes, we can run some reports, but I'm trying to remember the last report. I'm pretty sure that a majority of them were Kaufman County residents.
From all over the county, pretty much.
Yes.
And what I can do, if you'd like, I can actually run a report and actually go right to Kaufman Community Health Center and see from what zip codes individuals or patients are coming from. And if you'd like, I can send that to you separately.
That'd be good.
Just so you can see it.
I had no idea you served that.
Absolutely. Yeah. We have 3 providers over there at Community Health Center. And again, we're looking to, for other spaces. We know our building is about time to move out of that or remodel completely, but it looks like we may be looking to move out and maybe go to another space somewhere here at the conference. So that's in the discussion phase. I will get that report, just so I don't speak to it. And,
Okay. We'll get it. Any other questions on this item for Desiree?
You're just cleaning up your building and helping with your patients' needs.
Absolutely. That's our
We
goal.
appreciate you coming and doing this.
No problem. Well, Desiree, she's been great to work with, and you have a great person here.
Yes, she does a good job for us.
Desiree, can you give your W-9?
All right, do we have a motion to accept or to consider approval of this memorandum of understanding? We have that from Commissioner Phillips, second from Commissioner Rosati. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed. Item number 9 is to discuss indigent health care, to discuss and consider approval of form release of information.
Okay, back in April, I went over and was doing some training with Ellis County. They have a new director over there, and she wanted some ideas from me. And then she started showing me some of the things that were there. I looked over, they have release for information, and some of these things, we do background checks through Accurate, but some of these things are a little bit more local, where we can go out and find out a little bit more about it, and we can notify these people, and they can, if they sign it and everything, give us a group, and we can go out and notify a little bit more. It's more, just a more in-depth background check is what we're wanting to do, and that's what this one is.
Make sure that they are truly indigent.
Yes.
All is this just
Just to
approved this
approve,
fall?
and I gave it to Rebecca, Rebecca looked over it, and she said everything looked fine on it.
Okay. So we have a motion from Commissioner Allen, do we have a second? A second from Commissioner Shane, any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Those opposed, thanks, Desiree.
Thank you.
Next is Lori Floyd to discuss and consider approving updates to the retirement policy.
So you all approved our updates to the personnel manual a few weeks ago, and we noticed some things that we brought to our attention that in the local government code, there's a statute where we have to offer equal benefits to retirees. So our current policy doesn't change what our current policy is, it just adds to it a little bit. So with our current policy, in order for retirees to get to stay on our health insurance, they have to be here 8 years, and we will pay half of their premium. So with the local government code, we still have to offer that health insurance coverage to all retirees, no matter how long they've been here, but we don't have to pay for it. So, and retirees can, if they've been here a year, we can all, they can stay on our, it's kind of like COBRA. COBRA insurance, you can let employees stay on our insurance for up to 18 months. But with this, the local government code, if they retire, then we have to offer it the same amount of time we do retirees. So they would get to stay on it up until age 65, but they still have to pay the full premium. So it's just a formality of putting out a policy.
How do you determine if someone retired versus in this legal employment?
Retirement paper. So they have to fill out their retirement packet, and then we have to approve it and sign off on it and then submit it.
But they have to be 62 or older?
They have to be eligible. So they have to be age 60 with 8 years of service. They have to have the rule of 75 where their age and years of service equals 75.
No, I'm talking about the retirement with fewer than 8 years.
Oh, they just have to be eligible to retire. So if we have someone that works for another county for 20 years and they come in and work for Kaufman for 2, they're eligible to retire from Kaufman, but they're not eligible for us to pay any of their health insurance. Yeah, so it's just a formality of cleaning up our policy.
Okay, another question? Tiffany, do you have anything to say?
She's gonna take her to the next one.
Okay, all right. Have a motion from Commissioner Phillips, do I have a second? Commissioner Brazalik, seconds. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Those opposed. Okay, moving over now to item number 11. This is also from the HR department to discuss and consider accepting 2016-2017 renewal notice and benefits confirmation for medical and dental coverage with the Texas Association of Counties. This is kind of what we discussed, I believe, the other day for the most part in our board conference.
Yes, y'all discussed the changes for our health insurance plan to go from the 1,300 plan to the 1,200 plan. It changes that deductible to $1,000 and then the maximum out of pocket to $3,000. And then our dental insurance the plan will stay the same, but we do have a negative 9.5% decrease in those premium rates. So we just need formal approval to those changes.
Okay, we have a motion from Commissioner Allen, second from Commissioner Phillips. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Those opposed. Thanks very much, ladies. Item number 12 is from Lisa Callahan to discuss and consider disposing of surplus property lots 532, 519, 517 that received no bids in the Renee Bates Summer 2016 auction in accordance with local government code 263.152, parentheses A, parentheses 3.
Mouthful, right? Yeah, just coming before you to see about throwing that stuff away. It will cost more to, try to catalog it and put it back out for bid the second time. We already have a dumpster out there, which is already set in that location pretty much 24/7, but it's emptied and ready to go, and Bobby has things lined out where we can try to get some of this stuff weeded out and get it on.
I didn't get a list of the stuff you're talking about, disposing of.
lots 532, 519, and 517. Listed what they were. It's miscellaneous office supplies. It's,
Desk and stuff like
yeah,
that.
it's just old desks. There's some, old filing cabinets. It is. We were gonna call through it though, and if there's stuff that's still something we think might be beneficial in the future to other departments that they need, we were going to, of course, set that stuff aside. But the stuff that is legitimately just junk and easy to play.
If it's, I know it's, metal's not worth anything, but if it's metal, can we take it to the scrapyard?
Well, we did that on the last auction. We had already called through from the auction prior.
So we took all the metal out.
Yes.
That's a making sure.
And obviously, if Bobby and them deem something in there valuable enough to take, and that's an option.
Or if any of the commissioners or any other elected
Yeah, if anybody wants it.
go out and check before we decide.
I've been there that long. I've looked on there enough.
And I think we've been moved around several different times. Wow.
There's a conference table in there that's still, if somebody needs a conference table, obviously, I don't think there would be need to dispose of that. A lot of it is so used that most people don't want it. Because I've had, I know the DA's office has been out there numerous times to look at different things to see if they want it.
Can
No.
you send an email to all the department heads, let them know? You got 7 days, it could be something to get it otherwise.
That'd be possible.
I do that. I don't have a problem with that.
Okay.
Well, I got coats left from last year's auction. They generally sell, person bought them, I think paid for them, and you never come pick them up.
Right.
So I'll put them back in the next sale they have here. I thought we was gonna have that on the agenda today, but we'll get on the next agenda.
No, I'm just kind of short right now as far as staff to get another one going, so it's in the works.
I will put them back in sale, because they can, people come in, I don't like it.
And like I said, this would also be a sorting process, where if it's something that would still be deemed useful, we would have no reason just to discard.
I'm like Jamie, I think the email telling all the elected officials, department heads, if they need anything. Go look at it, alert you to whatever they get. Because it might be something you can do.
Something.
Some shares or maybe.
I'll make a motion with the exception, is going on by all the department heads. Give them 5 days notice and pick that stuff up 5 working days.
All right, we have a motion from Commissioner Phillips, second from Commissioner Shane. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Next item is to discuss and consider the purchase of one or possibly 2 2017 Ford F-250 pickup trucks, $26,051.12. Each from Paul Murray Ford for Precinct 4, Road and Bridge.
This was brought to me by Commissioner Allen, when we purchased, said one that he did indicate to me this morning, he just wants one, he doesn't have he may still have a need for 2, but maybe not.
We can afford one.
You gotta finance this or pay for it.
And this was actually wound up being cheaper, I think, than
It
what.
was $4,530 cheaper than the buy.
Yeah, so it does pay to shop locally, so.
That's the bigger cab, though, right? That's a crew cab.
Crew cab.
Crew cab.
Gas.
Yes.
Yes.
All right,
We can do it because it's cheaper than Bible, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You get cheaper than that one, that.
The only differences with buy board is, you get the rebate at the end of the year, but obviously, if you can save $4,500 up front, I don't know why you would do it.
I don't think we
What is the rebate on seniors?
And I honestly don't know.
Is it very?
It varies.
It's a percentage of what you pay in.
Yeah, it's a percentage, because this last year we got quite a big amount, and the year before we didn't. We got some, but not as much, so it varies on what you buy.
We have a, my board, like on this is $400 and $400. Yeah, $400, so if, on that pickup you pay in, $100, you get a percentage of $400. If you're saving 4,000, we're not gonna get percentage of 400.
And we won't get the trouble without, with not having, been
We're
working on the
below
dealership.
No, it's below 50,000, it's
It's
not.
dead man, something good with it.
Other dealerships higher.
Here's the bid offered by, from the, 14, and then 30,000 on 30,000.
I just want to make sure everybody comes to the basis.
And I think that show we need to give our local folks a chance to do
That's
it.
good, good.
Probably get in quicker too, you know.
Make a motion to approve Commissioner Allen's purchase of the pickup.
All right, we have a motion from Commissioner Gonzalez, we have a second. Commissioner Shane, any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Those opposed. Item number 14 is to discuss and consider a lease purchase for Precinct 2 Road and Bridge 2016 John Deere 410L backhoe loader utilizing the buy board contract number 424-13, quoted amount $115,407.
This is Commissioner Phillips.
Yep, this is back on, really nice one.
He brought this one to me last week and of course it is quoted through the buy board on the contract. The only thing I don't know if he had, if it's been discussed with Karen on what the lease
Yep.
purchase is on that.
Yeah, I've got a contingency money, I'm actually gonna pay for it, but.
Your
If it
lease
comes
in
in-
first.
Yeah, if it comes in before the end of the year, then I'll probably pay for it, and my contingency money, if it's not, then I'll pay for it, as community money.
You want to put that in form? Okay, we have a motion from Commissioner Phillips, second from Commissioner Allen. Any other discussion from anybody? All in favor say aye.
How much we borrow, you didn't know that?
That would be over a cup of coffee. Thank you very much, Lisa. The next item is from our county clerk, and I believe she's out today with her mother.
Yes, sir.
So we have discuss and consider approving a contract between the Department of State Health Services, Vital Statistics Unit, and the Kaufman County Clerk's Office. Contract provides for the county with access to the Texas Electronic Registration Remote System. Monique, I hope you can tell us all about that.
It's a remote computer that the state has set up in our office. It allows us to print any birth certificate in Texas so that they don't have to actually go to the county where they were born to get it. It generates revenue. They get $1.83 for each one, and we get the difference. So it's a good system to have. This contract is identical pretty much to the one we've used for 16 years. We just need to renew it. It's good for 2 years.
All right, I'll make that.
I got a motion from Commissioner Allen, and a second from Commissioner Phillips. Any other discussion?
It's council with the contract.
I have one that she has.
Pending approval of council. Would that-
No, I've already, she's
Oh, you
already.
looked at it? I thought you said you had not looked at it. All right, we're good to go. All in favor say aye. Those opposed.
Thank you.
All right, item number 17 is to discuss and exit entering into a regular meeting. Rebecca, do you have any announcements to make before we go into executive session on any of the items that are listed here?
Item 18, Judge, we don't have the documentation back yet, so we're not ready to go on that one.
Okay, so we're not going to discuss item 18 because ATS has not responded back to what you've asked them to send. Is that
We're
correct?
just waiting, yeah, we're still in that process.
Okay.
Later this week, maybe, to set it, we've got another temporary day to talk about it.
We're looking at the possibility of having a special meeting on Friday of this week. We've got several items that we need to conduct, and this may be one of those items at that point. We just don't have it, so probably 9 o'clock Friday morning, if everybody will be around. And so I wanted to make note that we will not be discussing item 18 in today's executive session. That being said, the time is approximately 9:56, and I need a motion to go into executive session from Commissioner Phillips. Do we have a second? Commissioner Gonzalez. All in favor say aye. Those opposed. And I think it'll take about a 10-minute break right fast. Thank you for waiting on us to get back. The court did, we have voted to exit the executive session at 10:41. The motion to do that was made by Commissioner Shane with a second by Commissioner Allen, and it passed unanimously. So now that brings us to item number 21, and I need a motion on item number 21. We talked about that a little bit. A motion to table item number 21 from Commissioner Phillips and a second from Commissioner Allen. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed. Also, item number 22 is to discuss and consider purchase of real property described as Kaufman Original Block 21, lots 1 and 2 in Kaufman, Texas, from the First Baptist Church of Kaufman. Do I have a motion in regards to that?
Make a motion first.
I have a motion from Commissioner Allen to purchase the property from the First Baptist Church in the amount of $150,000, with it to be closed by the Kaufman County Assistant District Attorney's Office. Okay. We have a second on that motion.
I'll second.
Commissioner Phillips seconds the motion. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed. Thank you very much, gentlemen. And item number 23 is to discuss and consider approving line item transfers. Mr. Flower.
Anybody have any questions on the line item transfers? Getting pretty close to the end of the year, so we're having to move money around in different departments.
A lot of money changing hands, changing pockets.
Yeah.
I don't have any questions.
All right, I have a motion to approve the line item transfers as presented by the auditor. Commissioner Shane made the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Commissioner Lavalley second the motion. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed. Thank you. Item number 24, to discuss and consider claims for payment.
All right, your claims for payment are $1,611,887.72.
And I got one question on this small thing here.
All right,
On page 8,
small package.
yes, please, one.
That was on your buyback. We had to pay the difference, yes, sir. That's our finance. You know, like if you paid $116,000 for something and we guaranteed buyback of $100,000, we owe them $16,000 for that time period.
We pay that to bank court.
Right. Ms. Texas Mac just furnishes the vehicles and bank court finances them.
Other questions on bills?
Can you see anything else?
Everybody good? We have a motion. We have a motion to approve the claim for payment.
I'll make a motion.
Commissioner Phillips made the motion. Do I have a second? Commissioner Allen seconded the motion. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed. And then a motion to adjourn.
So made.
Commissioner Allen makes a motion. Do I have a second? Commissioner Phillips seconds the motion. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Those opposed. Thank you very much. We'll let you know about the meeting on Friday.